All right. Who wants Sarah Sampaio? So this is I can't believe I'm just looking at this now. I bought this in May 2016. This is a 3-year-old magazine. How about that? So this is a simple public service announcement to anybody who falls in love with females, where they're public figures, actresses, models, singers, songwriters, directors, producers, YouTubers, Instagrammers, tweeters on Twitter, etc., etc., Snapchat, TikTok, uh, don't stop. It's best to fall for females that you could ever meet in real life. Now, MGTOW, most of MGTOW YouTubers would tell you to disavow women entirely, especially Sandman. I don't completely agree. What I do agree, and I agree myself, is that you don't need to get married to anybody. We have 7 billion people on this planet. We have 7 billion plus beings. It's not necessary anymore. People got married way back in biblical times so that, it was tradition. It was religious traditions. It was so that royal families can get along, rival royalty can get along. Romeo and Juliet. Then when we had the 13 colonies, way back after they've killed a lot of Aztecs and Mayans, and then the Spanish Inquisition, when you had warring countries fighting for territory on Anahuac, now America, uh, men would put women on soapboxes to auction them off as property because farmers and general store managers and business tycoons and people who shipbuilders, ship makers, captains, people who build log cabins for a living, stuff like that. They needed wives to make more business people, more farmers. Then if you wanted to marry the wife's family would pay a dowry. I think the man is supposed to pay the dowry. I'm not sure. Someone is supposed to pay the dowry, and then you marry the woman and do what you're told. And then back in those days, the man would hit the woman for sex or to because she didn't get dinner ready. Then we had Burn the Bras, 1970s, Gloria Steinem, and we had civil rights. After we had the suffrage movements and women could now vote and buy property, which is I'm fine with that. And we had Burn the Bras, and we had civil rights, gender rights, Roe v. Wade. Women wanted to have um, should have the right to have an abortion and not have to be separation of church and state. But after that, alimony rights and child support rights are just gone, just ridiculous. I think we have close to a 70% divorce rate in California and about a 60% in the United States. Um, when I was growing up, it was like 1 out of 2 marriages. It's just ridiculous now. Like, we don't need to marry anybody. But as men, we miss, I think most of us miss physical touch, physical interaction. Now, Sandman would encourage, if he could, having sex with robots or some sort of sex doll. I'm not really feeling that. Yet I think that it's like if women can get over the fact that we don't need to look for husbands, we don't need to look for wives. I know the TV told you to do that, and I know radio tells you and church tells you, but it's stupid. Because look at me. I came from a failed marriage from my parents. My sister's one of my two. I think my oldest sister married twice, and my youngest sister married once and divorced. My oldest sister divorced twice. My second sister, who had committed suicide, apparently, divorced. She married until she either her husband helped her commit suicide or she took her own life. It was just a lot of unhappy marriages from my cousins. I have an older cousin who's got stage 4 cancer. She divorced her husband, and her son, who's now 16, 17 now, he'll graduate next year, I think. He's in Connecticut with his dad. I think Joe Rogan would say there's not much in Connecticut. I never had a girlfriend in grade school, in junior high, in high school. I always flirted around, talked to different females on high school campus. Had some problems writing to celebrities. Was too obsessive compulsive about that. And I paid for that. And I realized, well, I'll just talk to girls online, which I did. And most of the time it was all flirtation and sexual thoughts and ejaculation and more sexual thoughts. And what is it Orson Welles would say, when you work in Hollywood, it's 96%, 98% hustling and 2% success. And that's kind of the same way with online females. It's 98% hustling and 2%, maybe it's like 90% hustling and 10% you actually meet the person, and then maybe it's 2% sex and gratification, and it's just no way to really live. My parents once found out I was on the internet, and we had a 2-hour discussion. And I told them, I think I said this before, it's like, if someone admits to being over 18, why would they put me under arrest? That doesn't make any sense at all. Right? So a 2-hour conversation. I'm like, and by the way, I was in my early 20s. I was 22, 23. I'm like, why am I having this discussion? They don't understand anything. In some ways they were right. A lot of ways they were wrong, because you just can't demonize the internet because it does these things. There are lots of things the internet does that you don't understand, some good and some bad. But overall, I had no regrets about meeting a lot of females from online, whether it was some regrets in chat rooms though, but mostly like when I started out, it was Yahoo Personals, when Yahoo Personals was free, and then collegeclub.com, which to me was my first social media, was collegeclub.com. Then College Club turned into something else. So I went from College Club to, I think, Facebook. And then from Facebook, collegeclub.com to MySpace, because I did date somebody from MySpace 7 years ago, and that was my last sexual encounter. And then from MySpace to Facebook, space to face, and then from Facebook to Twitter, then Instagram, and then YouTube, TikTok. Well, actually YouTube, and then Instagram, then TikTok. So it's bouncing around as we do through the last 20 years. We just bounced from social media to social media. But College Club was the first. I met one trailer trash kind of girl who was easy, too easy. Wanted to procreate right away, breed. I met one who was teasing. Actually, one I met her on college campus at a Cal State University, and she was fucking her cousin. And she lied about him being her cousin, and she knew that, and she was fucking with my head. Girls back then would be like, oh, I know what's up with you. I know how to change it. Like, they try to be like, oh, I know more than you. I la 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 la, right? And maybe there's sex, but maybe there's fondling. But overall, there's just like, well, she knows more than you, and you being the, oh, I don't know anything, right? You're 20 years old, you're 21. But when you're 40 something, women that age can't pull that crap anymore. They'll try, but they're not going to. The only time they try that is if they're gold digging bitches. You're like the old man that's got lots of money, and she's gonna treat you like crap because she wants a new car, she wants a new boat, she wants a new dress, she wants a new jewelry, wants a new necklace, wants a new ring. It's all this, right? That's kind of the stereotype. But through all this that I'm saying, I would say, to tell MGTOW men, at least the followers, to never, ever, ever, ever talk to a female, even after what Harvey Weinstein did, even after what Bill Cosby did, even after the Me Too movement, that's impossible. We're going to always talk to females. It's going to happen. It's just how you do it. It's now become, as I would say, it's a game of chess, or in my case, it's a game of shogi. Because in shogi, if you capture an opponent, you can put the opponent on your team. Unlike chess, the opponent's soldier can go on your team. He's your soldier. So when you put the piece on the board, you claim it as your own. That counts as one move. So that's how Japanese chess. It's a beautiful board, by the way. Anyway, to go back on topic, to claim the female as your own, you can't beat her up, you can't rape her, you can't kidnap her. Those days are long gone. I mean, the caveman narrative of dragging a woman by her hair and go back into the cave, maybe that really did happen. Who knows? I'm sure there's cave paintings that confirm it or not. But we have to talk to females differently now. The old Tom Likas rules, 101 rules don't apply anymore. You can't trick a woman with drinks because now they have, I watched one thing on TV where they have code words to say, let me have this particular drink. And it's really like call the cops because this guy's going to do something stupid. So you can't do those things anymore. And by the way, like I've had bad experiences with dates where we would meet up at a nightclub. At a nightclub, there are distractions. There's lights, there's smoke. You have to yell, "Hey, how's this going?" Right? You have to yell over the music. Your eyes have to withstand the. Let me see. There's other pictures of this female in here. The smoke, the fog machines. Here's another female. Let me see if I can find something. Here's some more females. Maxim's a very classy magazine. More females. Got some more stuff. Celestial bodies. So, I don't know how I feel. Like, this is a motivation always to kind of want to go and pursue females. But it's just how we do it. There's girls that look like this that are insane, that are just screwed up in the head, and they find guys that look like me attractive. If they're not gold digging, they're really... There was this cute woman. I thought she was kind of cute, but she was homeless, and she climbed to the top of a crane. She was in her late 30s, early 40s, and she's Asian, but she was climbing to the top of a crane and like just sitting up there. And she was kind of pretty. That's just my thing. But, I look at different females. I follow Korean models on Instagram. What do you want from me? But after a few experiences recently, talking to different females on Instagram and other social media, it's come to my attention now that the only females that matter are not these ones. Unless you know how to meet this person in real life, it doesn't matter because in the end, it's a joke. It's just these women are women you'll never see in real life. That is a boat. I don't care if it's 2019, if that's a boat. It's in real life that matters. It's going to always be in real life. To see these females in person. I tell you, there was this woman, I told her name Biani. When I saw Biani in health class in 1997, I was horny for her. Like, she almost looked like this. She looked like the way this girl looks here, Biani Zamora looked 85% like this. Like, she didn't take down a few proportions, and she looked just like this, right? Because she didn't have the exact waist size, the exact, skinny weight, but yet she looked that good. Some nudity here, but can't see very much. So in short, I mean, like, the females that you can interact with, you don't even need Match.com. You don't need Cupid. You don't need Tinder. I tried all that. Tinder, the last female I dated or went on a date with was from Zeusk. And she looked like my boss at my current volunteer. Not very attractive. But looking at her previous picture, I didn't expect her to look attractive. I went on the date because she was willing to meet me at a restaurant near my house. So I said, okay, yeah, I don't want to stand her up. I'll meet her. But man, this is not going to go well. But hey, it's been a while since I've done these things. So the idea of meeting a girl online to meet her offline is not a bad idea. It's just that it's not as popular as it used to be. We have restrictions now, we have rules, we have things in place. So I think I told my family about the one person I dated, the one that was sleeping with her cousin when my dad had died. And I don't tell them anymore about my business. My sex life is my sex life. And their sex life is their sex life, okay? But it's just, there's no desperate need to find a wife. But there may be some desperate need to have some type of physical female companionship, even if it is short term, even if you can come back to them a few weeks later. I feel like there should be a need to go and date females in person and not just jerk off to them online. Because while that might be okay sometimes, to say that that is a replacement for just meeting females in real life, that's stupid. I don't care what Sandman says. I'm going against Sandman on this one. I'd say that you have to know what you don't want. And women can easily dismiss a man if she only sees him on Snapchat or Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or anything like that. She can easily dismiss you as a living human being because she'll be coy and she'll be into you, and then she'll get bored of you like gum. Like, not even, you haven't even fucked her, you haven't gone on a date with her, you haven't held her hand or kissed her, but she'll get bored of you. There was this one girl who was like, she was like, I was taking a Japanese class at a community college, and I knew this girl that talked to this boy, and they looked like a cute kissing couple. I was at that time not 33. Yeah, I was 33. So I was not too young, not too old, but I wasn't hitting 40 yet. And she says, "Oh, you're kind of cute. You know, you seem like that kind of guy that would be shy, the wallflower at the prom. I would totally ask you out at the prom. You're kind of cute. You know, you're a nice guy. La 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 la. Right? Cute little couple." But after about 6 to 8 weeks later, we haven't even finished the semester, and they just stopped talking to each other. Like, first they were talking a little bit, and then there was just like, she just ignored him. She just got bored of him. Like, there was nothing. He didn't hurt her. He didn't put his hands on her. She just got bored of him. Like, that's what he told me later on. So there was nothing dramatic. And he flashed a peace sign as he walked by the classroom that last time, and he dropped the class. So the cute little couple, you know. So it's easy for people to pair up couples in fiction, in comic books and movies and TV shows. Ooh, look at this cute couple. And like, people like Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart would encourage that further by actually getting together in real life, which never fucking works, right? Rhea Perlman and Danny DeVito might be exceptions, but there's just, you know. So anyway, stick to the people in real life. That's all that matters. When you see this person in real life, be nice to her. If you have a chance to talk to her, talk to her. Sarah, Sampaio, anybody you see, if you have one chance to talk to them, talk to them. And that's all that matters. You are the only one that matters. So next time I talk, I might bring some of my art, my projects, something non-true force loneliness stuff, but we'll see. Anyway, peace out. Have a good week.